Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Tyler.
And I'm Shannon.
And today we're going to be doing part 2 to my reaction for Ben Shapiro, the best compilation. So, anything you want to say before we get started?
No, I like a lot of man speaking, so it'll be interesting to see.
Alright, but yeah, so without further ado, let's get started.
I don't think that border security and a pathway to citizenship are mutually exclusive. Those two things can happen simultaneously at the same time. Why? And that is the compromise. That is the place of compromise for Democrats and Republican, Larry. They can happen at the same time. We can build a fence, we can build a wall, we can build an electric fence if that's what they want. But at the same time, we need to provide a pathway to citizenship for those 11 millions that are in the shadows. The Republican Party's problem is they cannot get a pathway through citizenship out of the United States House of Representatives, whether they like it or not, whether we beefed up the border or not, whether we put Marine Team 6 on the border, they would still not be able to pass a pathway to citizenship.
That's simply not true. If you secured the border, people would pass a pathway to citizenship.
Count the votes.
I promise you, I know the Republican Party pretty well, and if you were to secure the border, then you would be able to pass a pathway to citizenship. You would.
Why can't those happen? Why are those two things mutually exclusive?
Why are they connected?
Because if we're dealing with immigration as a total issue. They're not separate issues.
Of course they're separate issues, because the fact is that if you do not... Okay, fine.
It's all about maintaining our border and having immigration control.
So you're right. Let's assume you're right, and we'll completely connect them. Okay, but the way we'll connect them is we won't have any border security. Amnesty for everybody. Is there a problem or no?
That's not what. But see, but this is exactly where they go to, Larry. Every time we have these discussions,
this is where we go to. Why don't you explain why they have to be connected?
That is not. Well, wait a second. That is not what's in the Senate bill. In the Senate bill, which is the Democratic solution, which has been endorsed by the president and all the Democrats in the United States Senate, that bill strengthens our border. It increases border security, and at the same time provides a very, very, very long pathway to citizenship that takes almost 10 years. It is completely and totally bipartisan, yet still.
See how angry that guy on the left is getting there?
Yeah.
Do you not notice in the last few seconds like, his eyes got wide?
Yeah, and the stuttering, and then whenever people seem to be wrong, they just seem to start listing out all the, do you know what I mean, all the accolades that go with it before I actually get to it, so you can get to the point now.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
That's where Ben is so good, because he doesn't let himself get rattled that easily.
No.
Like, the only time I've ever seen him do that is when we was dealing against Andrew Neil, and even Ben himself admitted that he lost that debate.
So what's your personal opinion with regards to the immigration? Do you think immigration has to be stricter?
To be fair, I don't know, because when I lived in the United States, obviously my parents moved there on an investor visa. They own their own business, they paid their taxes and everything, and I could legally live there and go to school there. Yeah. Legally, I couldn't work there. That was the problem. And there was no path from an investor visa to direct, like, a green card or citizenship. The only way I would have been able to get one is if I'd have gotten married. And I don't want to get married purely for the sake of getting a green card. No. So in cases like that, I still think there should be more, there needs some reform in that case for anyone who does go to the United States legally for the purposes of working to be able to get citizenship. Because they're still paying taxes and everything else.
Yeah, you contribute to society.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, quite frankly, and I would say the same for any country. Yeah. If you're willing to contribute to that country's society positively, you should be able to get citizenship in that country.
Yeah, no, I agree. I do believe that, like, some beliefs in some, I'm trying to think, cultures will have to sort of have some education on the laws of the land. Like, do you know what I mean? The ways to deal with things and whatnot. But yeah, no, all right, we'll crack on.
All right, let's get back to it.
Still, Republicans in the House won't even bring the bill to the floor for a vote.
Richard,
why can't they vote?
Honestly, I have one question in all of this. Seriously, just one question. Why not just secure the border and then put a pathway to citizenship in?
Why can't those happen at the same time?
Why don't you answer my question instead of asking me back why? I just explained to you why they can't. Here's why they can't happen at the same time. As you secure the border remains somewhat open. People cross the border because they feel that if they get in before the deadline, if they get in before the border is secure, then they are somehow included in the pathway to citizenship. Of course I've read the bill. And not only have I read the bill, I've been watching what's happening on the border with tens of thousands of children crossing the border in anticipation of amnesty.
Wait, because we have
what do you think is happening?
There's no law right now. But in the Senate bill,
law right
we talk about
You're right, there's no law against crossing the border illegally.
In the Senate bill, we talk about who qualifies for a pathway to citizenship, and those deadlines do not apply to those individuals that cross the border.
And how are you going to magically determine that, Richard? Do they have a magical
It's in the bill.
Right, they have
read the bill.
I've read the bill, Richard. Can you explain to me
when you haven't read it correctly?
when you determine who has crossed the border when? I was unaware that everybody who crosses the border has a barcode saying when they came across.
We'll get to the next one.
Richard?
Yeah. Yeah, I can kind of see why Ben was getting fed up with it though. But to be fair, Ben's right though, because they don't have a way of determining who crossed when.
No,
so everyone and their mum is going to say, well, no, we crossed it within plenty of time.
And the thing is as well, as soon as you put a deadline on anything and not something that's immediate, people always try and cut the things before the deadline.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what's called a deadline.
Mm.
Okay, yeah.
So,
it's all good so far.
Yeah.
You are not looking out for them. Their safety is not your concern. Safety! 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 Safety!
Get out! Yo, your baby needs to get out!
Obviously, he's Jewish. Obviously, white supremacist. He's an openly and devoutly Jewish man.
It's the easiest answer there.
So, when it comes to human nature, the left doesn't believe that human beings are capable of great good or great evil. The left believes that if human beings are flawed, that's because the system is flawed. The system has made people bad. Right? This is what Marxism suggests. Marxism suggests that you're all widgets, and you're just a product of the evil capitalist system. So if you do something bad, then that's because capitalism made you that way. The free markets made you that way. Freedom made you that way. Thus, we have to overthrow it and build a fairer world. Human beings are bad because of Western civilization, which is evil, and was founded in racism and sexism and bigotry. Western civilization, you hear very often, is founded irredeemably on white supremacy. The reason that you have bad people, the reason you have individual racists is because society broadly is racist. America is founded on this racism. And that white supremacy, that's what causes crime and poverty and inequality, not the fact that human beings do good things and do bad things, not the fact that some human beings commit crimes. No, the society at large is responsible for that, because if society were perfect, if you had a utopia, that would change the nature of human beings.
I think you have to acknowledge the reality, regardless of which end of the ideological spectrum you're on, that this idea that the relationship between a corporation and a worker is an entirely voluntary one is a figment of our imagination. The reality is that the relationship depends upon the balance of power. Because if you were to really believe that it's totally a voluntary relationship, then you should be arguing for child labor, because that was legal at one time, and that was argued as a beneficial thing for the economy.
But the fact is that the children are not capable of consent, which is why the legislation was appropriate from all ideological points of view. In terms of whether basically this trickle-up economics, this idea that if you pay people $15 an hour, it will help the general economy, it's evidencing a differential point of view with regard to how money is invested and what makes your life as a consumer better. The truth is that Mother Teresa did less good for the world than Bill Gates, as a general matter. Because more people gained their jobs through Bill Gates, more people have a product that Bill Gates created, more people's lives have been bettered through Bill Gates. Mother Teresa did a lot of wonderful things. But the reality of the situation is that what makes your life better than people's lives were 50 years ago is all the new products and services developed by all the rich people who hire you. All of you out there who I'm sure are not rich, are you working for a poor person right now? Who is hiring you? Who's paying your salary? Unless you're working for the government, and even then you're not working for a poor person, you're paying for the rich people who actually pay the taxes that pay for you to work for the government. So this idea that economic growth is a function of people making $15 an hour versus $14 an hour is simply not true. The reality of the situation is that what makes the economy grow is new products and services that make your life better and which require millions of dollars in research and development. And as far as the point that was made about the salary of the CEO of Walmart, all I can say is this. Walmart has approximately, they're the biggest employer in the country. They have something on the order of 2 million employees across the country. Let's say we agree that 20 million is too much, and let's say that we cut that salary to zero. Great, we just gave everybody $10, right, for the year. So let's stop pretending that the vast wealth imbalance inside Walmart is causing poverty for people at the bottom.
Is an attorney and editor-in-chief at dailywire.com, and Ebony Williams is an attorney and a Fox News contributor. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you, Martha.
I want to get your thoughts on the ruling, but your thoughts first, culturally, on the reaction that this got from some on the left. Ben, what do you think?
Well, I mean, I think number one, Trevor Noah is slightly below bubonic plague on the funny scale, so it's not really a shock that he'd come out with a tweet like that. But this shouldn't be a surprise.
I don't agree with that. I think Trevor Noah is actually hilarious.
I don't know who Trevor Noah is, but I do know the bubonic plague was. That's quite funny.
The bubonic plague was quite funny.
No, what he said was quite funny. No, it was
lower than the bubonic plague guy.
I think Trevor Noah kind of let loose what a lot of Democrats actually think, which is that there's no reason abortion should be safe, legal, and rare. The internal logic of that statement, the old Clinton formulation, doesn't hold. If abortion is about aborting something that isn't fully human, then why should it be rare? And if it is about aborting something that is human, then why exactly should it be legal? So the full-scale celebration that you see, the idea that abortion is actually birth control, that's what most Democrats believe, including the Democratic Party platform, which it was revealed today, calls for a destruction of literally all state and federal laws that restrict, quote, access to an abortion, as well as public funding for abortion both at home and abroad. They don't believe abortion should be safe, legal, and rare. They think that it's just a form of birth control.
The vast majority of people who are stopped and frisked are black.
What do you think about abortion?
I think on a general consensus early enough, it's fine. I do know, obviously, you're killing the potential of life, of course, but I think on the circumstances, that's a major thing. If you've got someone too young who's just been stupid and dumb and haven't had the right guidance, I feel that's acceptable. If someone's been raped, I completely think that, in all fairness, that's acceptable.
Yeah.
I think if it was like silly, or do you know what I mean, it was just like a freak accident and time, do you know what I mean? It's a big thing to think, but I don't think many people do it willy-nilly.
Yeah.
I think if people have done it too many times in a row, then I think they should get sterilised.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that you're really
Just
appreciating
getting
the
pregnant
sanctity
and
of
then
life.
Yeah.
And there are people who do just
mean,
pump out babies, get their children taken
Yeah.
away, and then carry on again.
Yeah.
And those kind of people. Is this friendly, adult friendly? That this is your channel?
Well, what do you mean by adult friendly? Unless it's sound dirty.
But no, okay. No, I was going to use a more colourful, appropriate term for someone who just pumps out babies.
Yeah, no, don't. Yeah, no swearing. Just because there are women and children that potentially watch this.
Yeah, okay.
So, to be fair, do you want to just end it here? Because we've been going on for about 15 minutes.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's good enough. Yeah, because no one's going to watch much longer than that. But
no,
yeah, I mean,
good.
Me personally, my view on abortion is because I don't agree with it. Because obviously, as a devout Muslim man, you know, that's just what I believe. However, with that being said, does that mean I'm going to then protest outside an abortion clinic? No. Does that mean that I'm going to tell women who have not asked my opinion what they should do? No. Because today, approximately 0 women have asked me what my opinion is, if they should get an abortion or not. So, in that sense, because people actually told me that I'm pro-choice. Because even though I personally don't agree with it, I just if a woman wants to get one, if she can justify that between her and however way she views God, then that's up to her. It makes no difference to my life.
No,
it just means that I personally would not say go for it.
No, I completely agree.
Except obviously in cases of rape, incest, or cases where the baby can
or it's going to have no quality of life, or even if what's your view as a Muslim if the baby is going to be born but it's not going to have any quality of life, so it's going to be like vegetated sort of thing? Is that the actual proper term to use for that?
I've heard a few different terms for it.
It doesn't sound like it should be, but
yeah,
I've heard it used.
I know what you're trying to say. To be honest, that I don't know. I would probably have to look into that for you. Unless any of my Muslim viewers know the answer to that, leave it in the comments below. But yeah, I actually
inform the infidel.
Inform the infidel. Is that going to be our new playlist?
That could be like a little,
teaching you Muslim things. It could be like inform the infidel.
You could do like a little. You could make a shorts out of it. Inform the infidel.
Yeah. But, God, the far right are going to hate me for saying that.
Oh, don't worry.
Yeah. Anyway, guys. We hope you enjoyed that. Let us know what you think in the comment section. If there's, we'll be doing part 3 soon, inshallah. Hopefully. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, peace.